Not sure if you all know this, but Adrian and I both have YouTube channels. My YouTube channel, if you can please subscribe, is Nevermore Records. Adrian's is Plastic Realm Toys. You can also follow us on Instagram at HNH_podcast and find us on Facebook. We even have a private group. Just send a request and we'll let you in. Follow our recording studio on Instagram at Nevermore_Records_EPTX and our guitar company on Instagram at Nevermore_Guitars.
Hey, look, if you're going to tell me he touched your feet, we're going to have a fucking problem.
Actually, he did, and I'm not fucking lying. Dude, anyways, but let me get to that.
Okay.
So I sit down.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Half and Half Podcast.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm not shaving this month. Oh, I'm Paul, by the way.
This is Adrian, by the way.
And I'm really disappointed because we don't have rain. Anyways.
Because it's fucking midnight already. It's not literally midnight. It's 11:30 in the afternoon.
Dude, remember what I was telling you Sorry, I did ignore you completely.
I'm used to it.
Anyways, remember what I was telling you earlier about a certain somebody in a band that I'm working with who is being very picky?
Oh, yeah.
I just got a long message. I don't even want to look at it right now. Anyways, yeah, welcome back, everybody. This is it.
You said you're not shaving? When have you shaved?
I trim.
Oh.
I trim. You know, normally it's just my pubes, but this time it's...
Well, I'm hoping you let that go, too.
No. It's No Shave November, and people do it for a cause.
Okay, what's the cause?
It's cancers. I think it's something having to do with cancer, and I should because, you know, both my parents died of cancer, right? But honestly, I just see it as like, oh, it's No Shave November, meaning I could be fucking lazy for a month and not have to fucking trim this beard.
I didn't know it was because of cancer.
Yeah. Sorry?
My mom, thank God, cancer survivor. She hit a year in October.
That's awesome, dude.
Thank the Lord. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like it'd make a fucking difference on me anyways.
But anyways, this is unusual for us. Normally we're here 8 o'clock in the morning. It is 11:30.
Yeah.
11:30. You had to go into work this morning. A training.
Yeah.
Either way, I've been here working on music all morning. Well, not my own music, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
But we really needed to get this episode in. I was really disappointed. People were disappointed. I got a few messages
about our Halloween.
Yeah, what happened to your Halloween episode, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? It'll come around.
Well, that's what happens when you're a multi-business owner, because you had shit you had to do.
You're going to put this all on me, Adrian?
I called you and I said, tomorrow, right? And you said yes. You called me later that night and like, you know what, Batch? I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. And I even said, but it's our Halloween episode. And as your best friend who loves you and supports you, I said, all right, you're right. Go do your work.
What do you mean?
Yeah, fucking exactly. You know what I love? I just love the one-sided stories. I can only imagine all the shit people think about me because they only hear your side of the story.
That's a good point. Yeah, realistically, yeah.
Anybody, please send us messages and say, tell me your side of the story. I guarantee you it's fucking different.
So, watching Thundercat, that's the first on my list that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I know we usually do our catch-up things and try to make it as music-related as possible, but I went to go see Thundercat. If anybody's not familiar with Thundercat, you've seen him too, right?
Yes, twice.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How?
He's opened up for the Chili Peppers twice. Both times I saw them.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now let me ask you this.
But let me ask you this. Real quick, though. This is how I know you don't fucking pay attention to me. I was standing in front of Thundercat. I took a picture and I said, for Elise or for Felix, and I sent you the picture.
I remember that. But I remember it just being one time. I didn't know he opened up both times.
Yeah.
Do you know the history of Thundercat?
No. Mm-mm.
Dude, first of all, I went to this show because my daughter was obsessed and was like begging me to go to this show. So I went. It was cold as fuck. It was the first night. It hit like 30 degrees.
Yeah.
Dude.
This was at where again?
at a Lowbrow outside.
Outside. Oh shit.
Even he had like people bringing him tea constantly, hot tea, because he even said it is cold as fuck. And then I was like, yeah, you think that you would like, I appreciated the comedic talk in between. I really like that. He's a very good showman. Mm-hmm. But I was kind of like, yeah, dude, stop talking, fucking get to the next song because I'm fucking dying here.
And I bet you he was like, we're going to El Paso, Texas. What do I do? And everyone's probably like, oh, where's shorts? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, right? Especially because it was like the day before, it was like 30 degrees warmer.
We're closer to December now, and it's hotter than it was back then.
Yeah, I know, right? But so I liked his music.
Yeah.
Especially there's a song that, of course, I think everybody likes it that's heard him. It's called Funny Thing. Mm-hmm. But let me talk a little bit about this because, first of all, I'm just going to say right out the gate, this dude blew my fucking mind.
Because his bass skills.
Fuck yes, dude. I was just like, I was in shock. I was like, that guy, and you might get mad at me for this, but I feel like that guy is so fucking talented that we always talk about the big guys on the block. Yeah. We talk about Primus, what's his name?
Les
Claypool. We talk about Flea. We talk about all these bass players. I think that guy, if Red Hot Chili Peppers said tomorrow, like, hey man, can you fill in? Flea can't make it. That guy wouldn't skip a beat.
He wouldn't. I honestly think skillfully, to a degree, he's better than Flea.
Yeah. I'm surprised you said that because I felt the same thing.
Look, I like my favorites, right? But doesn't mean I'm going to find someone that's not better than them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not afraid to admit that.
Dude, I was so impressed. So I'm not going to really get into detail about it, but I'm playing bass in a project and I'm really, really, this is the first time I've ever played bass in a project. I'm a guitar player at heart. But I've really kind of engulfed myself in trying to be a good, true bass player. Not a guitar player playing bass, like a bass player, right?
Yeah, you got a long way to go, my man.
I do feel like that, honestly. But man, this isn't
it's a lifestyle, guy. It's a fucking passion.
Dude, I still play bass better than a lot of bass players that I've worked with. So don't even. I already have a huge leg up.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
So it inspired me, dude. It inspired me to be like, yeah, maybe in my lifetime I may never be as good as this guy. But damn, like it just, bass playing is like kind of ignored. You know what I mean? Come on, it's true. Like,
that was my face of like, you're barely realizing that?
I mean, we've always known that. It's just, one of those things that we don't speak about.
Welcome to the last 27 years of my life.
But you know what? And I've always been really big on bass lines and all that stuff, which is why I love you, which is why I have you, because it's like, I don't have to worry about it because I've got you.
But you don't use me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But man, that really inspired me, dude. So anyways, I started doing some digging around.
Digging for shit?
Started digging around into like the history of this guy.
Yeah.
You don't know anything about him.
I haven't dug that far.
So I thought it was really interesting because the drummer looks like he was like straight out of like NWA.
Yeah.
But he's wearing a Suicidal Tendencies hat. And I was like, that is so fucking weird that he's wearing a Suicidal Tendencies hat, right? Mm-hmm. Did you know that Thundercat was the bass player for Suicidal Tendencies for 10 fucking years?
What?
Yes. He was. Even when you played with them back, he was in the band. He was just chubbier.
I do not fucking remember that.
Dude, yes. Isn't that fucking crazy?
I do not remember that.
I went in and read, dude, he gives like Mike Muir all like the credit in the world for like making him who he is as a performer, as a musician, everything, dude. His whole fucking career before Thundercat was Suicidal Tendencies.
Wow.
After Robert Trujillo.
Well, yeah.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
That's crazy.
It just made me like love everything about him that much more.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see him again.
Yeah, right?
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
I was so excited to bring that up. So hopefully you all, if you haven't heard, one thing I can say though is listening to his songs, they don't really do justice in terms of showcasing how good of a bass player he is.
Oh, absolutely not. But real quick, if you've never heard of Thundercat and you want to listen to him, don't go into it thinking you're going to hear suicidal tendencies.
Oh, fuck no.
No, it's
like it's music you want to make love to.
Yeah, it's R&B, it's funk, it's
sometimes dancey. It's oh my God, dude. It's so good, and that just made me love it that much more.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad. Because you were kind of like, you had asked me if I was going. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking you were asking me because you're like, you want to take her with you? So I don't have to.
Honestly, I was trying to get out of it. It's not that I don't like it. Like, I like his songs, but I was like, I don't know if I want to sit through 2 hours of this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's good, but and then especially when I saw that the cold was coming in, I was like,
I didn't know Lowbrow. I know they have activities outside or events, but I didn't know they threw shows outside, especially a big show like that.
Every show I've ever been there has been outside.
No, when I went to go see Joyce Maynor, when I fucking got COVID,
it
was inside.
I've heard of inside shows, but every show I've been to, Phanogram, I don't remember who else. They were all outside.
Speaking of concerts, you gonna go see Tool?
Let's talk about that. You know, it's so weird. It's so weird that Tool's coming because it actually connects to some of the stuff that I have on my notes.
Really?
Yeah, it's just so coincidental and so random. You know, they just announced it a couple of days ago, right? Tool's coming.
Yeah.
And we got into it with some of our buddies from the Dad Podcasters show.
Go check it out.
Who we know, Eric and Nick, are both huge Tool fans. Mm-hmm. Always have.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that so my history with Tool was I didn't like them at first.
And I remember that.
Yeah.
But you did. See, I'm a huge Tool fan myself, but to me, it's one of those bands we don't talk about because I thought we were there. So it's like, it's kind of like the Deftones. We didn't really talk about the Deftones because we both love them, me more than you. But Tool is one of those bands I didn't think I had to bring up with you. But to come to find out, you said some stuff yesterday that I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, so when Enema came out, of course, I mean, if you were involved in music at that time, especially at the time, I had a drummer who was so good that he was able to actually play those songs like nothing, you know?
Yeah.
He was just amazing.
Wait, which drummer is it?
Jacob.
Oh,
I haven't spoken, or I don't know what happened to that guy. He fell off the face of the planet. After he left the band because he moved to Las Vegas, and I know he did some really cool stuff. I don't want to speak for him, but I know some really cool stuff that he did with other bigger bands. But he was able to replicate the drums of those songs, which was amazing at that time because it was most drummers couldn't, you know. And so I really developed an appreciation just for that album from beginning to end. And it made me like some of the stuff before. And then I think the album that came out afterwards. I couldn't tell you what it is. But after that, I just couldn't get into everything else because it almost felt like everything, again, it was one of those bands. Don't get me wrong. Tool is amazing musically, everything. But I just felt like every album after that was a revision of Enema, another version of Enema. Even the bass lines sound the same. Some of the, like, I don't know that, and I'm sure it's not that, but that's just the feeling I got as like first listener to. It was like, oh yeah, like, which is great because Tool has a certain sound that they've established, and of course they're gonna sound like themselves, right? Yeah. But it was enough to me. Like, it wasn't like new enough to be like, oh wow, now this is cool. I didn't know they were gonna do this.
Well, see, and that, to me, that was because I've been a Tool fan day one.
You are a Tool.
Day one. I'm talking Opiate.
Right.
Day one.
Yeah. See, Opiate's a good album, but I didn't appreciate it until I got into Enema.
Undertow, fucking amazing album.
Until I got an Enema.
Save that for the Dad Podcasters. Because you guys love talking about your asses.
Hell yeah.
So come Enema, I was like, whoa.
Come Enema. Damn.
So when the album Enema came out, it was like, it was grander. The production was, so like for me hearing, day one to, I was like, dude, what the, but then you're right. I think after that was Lateralis, was it? The one that, I think that's the album after Enema.
No, that's Enema, dude.
Oh.
It's not? Oh, okay, maybe
Enema's got the boom, boom,
oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, it was weird. I always thought you were day one like me. It was one of those bands you and I never spoke about because I thought it was just duh.
It was literally that album before Enema and then the one after, and then I fell off after that.
Well, they didn't do much after that. I think though it was like years.
Didn't they? I thought they've done like 2 or 3 since then.
I think they've done 2 since then because he went on to do Pucifer. He went on to do Imperfect Circle, which is God's gift to fucking music.
Well, that first album is. They have 2 albums, right?
They have 3.
Oh wow.
Wait, 2 or 3?
I don't know.
Yeah,
but I don't know, man. Also, something that kind of, we've spoken about this before. Our local radio station here that I'm not too fond of in terms of like, love the morning show. Not a fan of the music that they have had on rotation for years and years.
Not years, fucking decades.
Yeah, and so. Again, anytime I hear a band on there, it kind of like, oh, they're a KLAQ band.
And that's an El Paso thing. That's how we refer to it because it's like, it's either really old shit or like this niche sound that they play, which is like Breaking Benjamin
or even like the bands that you do like that they do play, like Deftones, the songs that they choose, it's like such an El Paso like route.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like with Deftones, they play Changes all the time, which is like to me one of the most mainstream songs that I can care less about,
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, so they're coming, you're going with those dudes, and I want to go. I feel like if I don't go, I'm going to regret it. So I'm still on the fence, but I feel like ticket prices are crazy through the roof right now.
They're not. You're thinking, so tomorrow is going to be the actual pre-sale, right? Or the tickets go on sale tomorrow.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be all that much, dude. Like, I didn't pay that much for Foo Fighters. And Foo Fighters are, to me, are probably more well-known popular band.
True.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
It's
not even about money. It's always about the principle of like.
Well, no, of course. But at this point, I think Tool is left for the diehards at this point.
Right.
I don't think they're as on demand as it used to be. You have to be a diehard to want to go see Tool.
A bunch of 40-year-old dudes.
Fuck yeah, dude, wearing baseball tees and Converse.
It's gonna be reverse of Cigarettes After Sex. It's gonna be a bunch of 40-year-old dudes with like a few daughters here and there.
Geriatric fucks, all of us. Now I'm gonna have to wait in line for beer this time. But if you are going, we're gonna go to dinner again, catch a buzz before we go. Like last
for
time.
Sure. Yeah.
I walked out of that restaurant like this.
Yeah. All right. Anything you want to catch up on?
I wanted to bring something up. So last episode, we spoke or answered a question from our boy Moat9. Shout out Moat. Go check out his podcast, Moat9 and AAA Cigars.
AAA Cigars.
AAA. I was off by a name. AAA Cigars. So he had asked us name a guilty pleasure band, right? Basically, name a band that you hate to admit that you like. I said Boyz II Men because it's just the first thing that came to me. Days later, I'm listening to Spotify and my thing is shuffling or whatever, and I found the band that I fucking hate to admit from day one.
Wait, let me guess.
Guess.
Chumbawamba.
Oh, I love them so much. Do you still have that CD?
Probably.
I probably have your CD because you gave me all your shit.
My mom bought that for me from like Christmas or something one year, and I was like, "Thanks, Mom."
It's adorable. So band day one, my wife and my kids at the time were huge fans of
your
this
kids
band.
At the time. They're no longer your kids.
One of them is. You're still on the fucking fence about one.
Sorry.
They were huge fans at the time, and I couldn't see it, and it annoyed me because that's all they wanted to fucking listen to.
I think I know who you're gonna go
in the
with.
car,
on
the fucking TV, and it drove me batshit crazy. And I think come their second or third album, I want to say their third album, we actually went to go see them play in LA, and I was like, I don't want to go, but the kids, the experience, blah blah blah. I'm a live band guy. I love to play live. I love to watch bands live. So they flipped it for me, right? Their third album was really good, but I still don't like to admit it. You know what I mean? Like even when we're in the car and my Spotify's on and that song will come on, I'll just casually go, whoop, and they'll be like, I fucking knew it. Everyone gives me shit in my house because like I knew it.
I know who it is.
Go.
21 Pilots.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I fucking hate to admit. Okay, I like that one album, and there's one song that's really fucking good. But yeah, 21
What's their
Pilots.
main song? I just hear Chumbawamba in my head right now. That's why I get knocked down.
Their first, okay, so they did the Heathen song.
Oh, that's right, Heathens. That's right. That's the one that I always think of.
But the one that made them famous was way before that.
Yeah,
I forgot how it goes. But their album Trench is fucking amazing. But like, I don't walk around telling people, "Oh, I fucking love 21 Pilots."
Yeah.
Every time people bring it up, I'm like, "What's news?"
When you saw them play, was it like Cigarettes After Sex, like a real young crowd?
Oh yeah,
that's what I thought.
Yeah, but at least
they're all right. I mean, they were very mainstream at one point.
But at least at the time, I was like a teenager, right? So I didn't feel that.
You were 19. Your kids were 2.
I didn't feel that bad.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
You spoke about Tool.
You're a Tool.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
You're a musician. My wife and I forgot what we were talking about.
My wife.
But it proved my point the other day, and I'm not going to go into all the specifics. So, do you think when somebody writes a song and you cover that song, do you think yours sounds the exact same?
Say that again. Do I think what?
Yours sounds exact. Okay, so if you're trying to learn Jimmy Page,
okay,
right?
When
you play it, the notes can be down. Everything can.
Do I think no?
It loses something.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, because the original writer has
there's those little nuances. There's that flavor. I can play a Flea line,
right,
but it's not going to sound.
It happens all the time, even with guitar solos.
Thank you.
Like guitar solos, people try to replicate somebody else's, and don't get me wrong, they're hitting every note, everything. It just doesn't have that same
zhuzh.
Yeah.
The fucking pizzazz.
Yeah.
The reason that part was written is missing. Thank you. All 3 of them try to make me feel stupid, and I'm like, you guys know, out of all 3 of us, I'm been the musician the longest, right?
Yeah,
like,
no, 100%. Matter of fact, I'll give you a good example. I was watching somebody, they were doing one of the guitar solos from Dimebag Darrell from Pantera.
Yeah.
And even like right now, when Pantera performs, Zakk Wylde does his solos. And don't get me wrong, he gets very close. He does it really good. But I have never heard somebody do one of his guitar solos where I can say like, damn, they nailed it.
The dime is missing.
Yeah.
It's like when I used to try to learn your guitar parts, I did it.
Right.
But the ball is missing.
Right. No, it's true. No, I swear to God, it's you're 100% right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Point proven. Just wanted to make that clear. I wanted to speak to another musician about it.
Yeah.
Because they were driving me crazy. Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, you don't get it. Every little, like, especially with me, like, I like a lot of ghost notes and clicks and like pauses and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like.
And you know what's funny is that I've thought of that a lot, but I've never actually said it out loud.
Yeah.
And you're right.
Thank you.
100%. Like, I didn't even have to think twice.
Everybody heard it. I'm right.
Yeah.
Moving on.
All right. I think it's that time.
You know what time it is?
What time?
Fucking time to call Ricky way.
It's time to call Ricky.
Time to call Ricky. We need to write that jingle, BTW.
Yeah, we do. It's time to call Ricky. I always think of like Pee-wee's Playhouse. It's got to be like a jingle like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's call him.
Do you know what you're gonna ask him though?
No, what are we gonna? Oh, let's ask him if he likes Tool.
Okay.
Hopefully he answers, everyone.
Don't disappoint us, Ricky.
It's almost his lunchtime way.
Some chalupas way. Extra Baja sauce way. He's not gonna answer.
You know, he might not answer, but he might surprise us and call back.
Yeah.
All right. That was a fail, unfortunately. But we're gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep trying.
God damn it.
What?
Lost my chapstick again. My lips hurt real bad.
All right. You want to get into that Batchkin scram?
Yes.
All right. I'll let you go first. I have 3 on my list.
I'm going to change it up because you changed it up. This whole segment started on our favorite screamers, and you hit me with, I'm going to pick somebody who can sing.
Okay.
So, I think everybody knows by now my love for hip-hop. I'm going to pick an MC. I cannot get enough of A$AP Rock
so
lately.
That batch can rap?
This batch can rap. One of my favorite rappers, definitely top 10. I cannot get enough of his stuff lately. He's been releasing shit here and there in the past couple of months. Fucking phenomenal. I chose A$AP Rock. And I know you've heard him.
Yeah, of course. I actually like him a lot.
Yeah. Fucking amazing. If you love hip-hop, real hip-hop, I always have to say that, go check out A$AP Rock if you have not heard him. That's my batch.
I like that. I like that. Just don't make it that it's going to be rappers from here on out, because I know how you are. I know how you be. Just kidding. Actually, this has no connection whatsoever. I wrote this way before our conversations about Tool. I'm just going to cut to the chase. I had Maynard on my list. Yeah.
Well, that's a fucking good one.
Yeah.
So somebody who doesn't like Tool a whole lot, I mean, but you like Maynard, though.
Well, the thing is that, believe it or not, when I first heard Tool, that's what I did not like about the band.
Him?
I thought the music was good, but it was his vocals was just a very acquired taste for me.
Yeah.
And then again, I heard Enema, and then I started to really develop an appreciation for his vocal style. Yeah. It was just very different. But but again, because I don't like the newer stuff doesn't mean that I don't think they're talented or I don't think they're good. It's just, it hasn't pulled me in.
Right.
I haven't been able to just make that connection with it.
Yeah.
But I know it's still good. I know it's fucking out of this world talent, but it just hasn't I haven't gravitated towards it to where I can be like, yeah, I'm listening to this.
Yeah. That's a good one though.
You know, I had a couple of people, and when I say a couple, about 4 people reach out to me, and I'm just gonna end it right here, because I know you're gonna be like, who the fuck, blah blah blah. They all said the same thing. They all said that they went and listened to Cherub and that you were full of shit.
I don't give a fuck what they say. I don't fucking care. I mean, dick to me.
And that's the reaction
You could take your Prince reference and I don't give a fuck.
But anyways, I just wanted to throw that in. I had forgot to put that on my notes.
Yeah.
Do you know what really chaps my ass though, Adrian?
Tell me, Paul.
Do you have one?
No.
No, really? What?
Harmonious vibe,
You
buddy.
should. Last episode, you said something about like, dude, I really do have a lot of shit that chaps my ass. I don't know. Maybe I made that up, but I could have sworn you did. I want to say you said something along those lines.
I want to say I didn't. Got to keep the positivity, my brother.
You know what really chaps my ass, though?
What?
Paying extra for oat milk.
See, what are you talking about?
Dude, you don't go to Starbucks?
Starbucks is overrated, my man. Their coffee sucks.
Until you've had a fucking pumpkin spice latte with extra pumpkin spice foam.
A latte is not coffee.
On oat milk. And then you can get an extra espresso shot.
Oh, well,
it's like $17, but fucking worth every
You put a bunch
penny.
of shit in it. Yeah, of course it's going to taste good.
So normally I drink coffee black, right? I like my coffee like I like my men. Black. That's why you're my best friend.
That's right.
Anyways, yeah, so during this time of the year, or sometimes if I'm in a hurry, whatever, I'll go get like a nitro cold brew.
Yeah.
Because it gives me a pep. It's not a pep like rain pep, but it's a pep in my step.
God bless that rain, right?
I know, dude. But if you ever go to start any coffee place and you ask them for oat milk as a substitute for regular milk, they upcharge that shit.
By how much?
Like 75 cents.
What?
Yes.
For a whole other $1, you can get a gallon of it.
Exactly.
Holy shit. And
dude,
all you're getting is a fucking splash.
Right. Like, I don't eat dairy. I don't like dairy. I mean, I love cheese. Don't get me wrong. And I do eat cheese. So I take that back. We'll step that back a little bit. But, dude, like, when it comes to milk, I don't care. I used to love milk when I was younger. Now I've learned too much about it and I can't drink it. So anyways, I get oat milk and I love oat milk. I could drink that shit all day. But dude, it really chaps my ass that they fucking upcharge you so much. Like, you get a $4 coffee and they add 75 cents. You're now paying almost a fourth of the original price extra just for like a fucking spoonful of oat milk.
Yeah.
It's fucking bullshit. And
is really oat milk good though?
What do you mean is it good? It tastes delicious.
Yeah, does it taste good?
Yes, dude.
Here's my thing. I'm lactose intolerant. As I get older, right?
Lactose intolerant. Uh-huh.
As I get older, it's starting to fuck with me more.
Yeah.
But I love cereal.
Dude, it tastes better with oat milk.
Well, okay, so I try to cut back on the milk. I don't eat a whole lot of cereal anyway because it's got the ones I love have a bunch of sugar in it. Mm-hmm. But I've tried the almond milk.
Almond milk sucks.
Dude, it's just...
It's like water that's white.
Thank you. And the shitty part about it is I'm not a milk guy. I cannot drink milk. Mm-hmm. Milk is fucking nasty.
I always think of Napoleon Dynamite when he's drinking the milk.
Oh, this one tastes like it got a patch of onions.
Yeah.
But you need it in cereal, right? Mm-hmm. It does complement.
Do you like oatmeal?
No. Well, I like the way it smells.
Okay.
And I like the way it tastes.
Yes.
But I don't like the
texture.
Yeah,
okay.
But,
so oat milk has a hint of that, what I think is the good flavor of oatmeal.
Really? Mm-hmm.
And so it's weird when you put it with cereal, at least in my opinion, and especially, and it has nothing to do, like when I was vegan, like I struggled with almond milk and the other ones, cashew milk. Like cashew milk was okay, but oat milk, it has a hint, so it almost tastes like it's supposed to go in cereal. It's really weird. And so, yeah, dude, like, especially you get the extra creamy. I love the extra creamy.
Always.
It's good, dude. Anytime, like, I have, like, a, what do you call it? Like, sweet bread or something, dude, and I get a nice big glass of oat milk. Fuck, dude. And you don't feel so guilty either, because it's, like, you know, I know they've got to go in there and they've got to, like, milk the oats. But
yeah, you don't think oats have feelings, motherfucker?
But dude, you gotta try it.
I definitely want to try it. Next time you go get that order, why don't you double that bitch and run by my house?
Fucking $38 for 2 drinks. What?
Google friendship and tell me what it says, please.
I'm just saying, because Starbucks is ridiculous now.
I think I'm at $38 with your reigns.
Oh, that's a good point. Which I feel so like left out right now because you didn't bring me one, but whatever.
Well, we're on a crunch today,
I know,
man.
I'm just kidding. I already had my coffee. That's why I'm all hyper. But I'm going to crash soon because coffee makes me crash real fucking quick.
Oh, yeah, it does.
All right.
I'm just going to put it out there. I don't have a riff for either one.
What?
Yeah.
For Let It Riff?
Yeah, I forgot.
Dude, I've been sitting on 2 for each.
Well, then play yours. It's all right. Just do it.
You know, my segments today are running together too much. I don't like that. I feel like the thing is, it's not even intentional. It's just as I think of things, I'll go in and I'll add stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, no, man, because then I'll wait till you get it. Right. There's nothing that comes to mind for Let It Riff for you?
No. Mm-mm.
God, man, talk about not doing your homework.
Well, I did my homework, which is why I forgot everything else. Look at all these notes.
Well, you know what song blows my thong off?
There you go, man.
Again, what I was saying just 2 seconds ago. I had put on here the song Funny Thing from Thundercat. And it actually, I put that before I even went to go see Thundercat.
Oh, really?
So yeah, that song, I think it's called Funny Thing, right? Such a good song. It's so short, too. It's like literally a 2-minute song.
Yeah.
I think it's like his second most popular one. I know he played it second to last when we saw him. But that's a good song for any of you that might struggle getting into that style of music. Start off with that song and listen to it a couple of times because it really grows on you.
Yeah.
What song blows your thong off, Adrian?
The song that blows my thong off is a new band fronted by a singer who was in an old amazing band who I think are no longer together. So there's a new band called Many Eyes, and the song is called Revelation.
Dude, I already told you about those guys like a long time ago.
Fuck out of here.
What do I look like, Adrian?
Yeah, right. Then who's the singer? And what band does he come from? Thank you.
What do you mean?
The ex-singer of Every Time I Die, Keith Buckley, started a new band called Many Eyes.
Is he the one that I like?
Yes, you like Every Time I Die.
No, I know, but is he the singer that I liked?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, every time I died, I really got into them at one point.
Yeah.
But they switched singers, and I think that's what changed it for me.
Did they?
Yeah. My understanding is they switched singers. I even saw them play one time live. Really good.
Well, Keith Buckley. I don't know which order. But his new band, Many Eyes, song is called Revelation. Fucking amazing. I cannot get enough of it.
I need to check it out.
Yeah.
Is it just like real heavy?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. You know, let's go ahead and just get into the chat.
Okay. So, because last time the artist I chose dropped a new album, I kind of been going down that style, that rabbit hole, right? So, last week I chose an artist by the name of Begotten, who's an electronic artist, vaporwave type style. There's another artist in that same genre called Gore, but it's G space O space R space E, all capitals. Gore.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, vaporwave, electronic style, real slow, lo-fi type. Fucking check them out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And are they like big or they're upcoming?
No, these guys are like real underground.
Awesome. Okay, I'll check it out. I need to actually, as you were telling me that, I should have been writing it. It's just I was trying to follow what you're saying. So G-O.
I didn't say dash. I said space.
Oh, space. Wow, there's a lot of people with dashes in their name.
I don't think he's on Spotify. I always hear him on either Bandcamp or YouTube.
Is it a song called Suffering?
Let me see. No.
What the hell? Okay, well, send them to me later.
Yeah. I'll send you the Bandcamp link.
All right, so Gore. G space O space R space E.
Those hands, man. Fuck. You should be a hand model. That's the type of endorsement we should be going for.
You know why I couldn't be a hand model? Because every time they're going to be like, Paul, you need to cut your fucking fingernails. And then obviously they're biting them off.
Gross.
And then I get the fucking long ass cuticle thing. And then, anyways. All right, let's get into, we're going to skip Guess This Riff. So, should we get into challenge results already? I feel like, man, I thought we were behind schedule, but like we're ahead of schedule at this point.
Yeah. So
you want to get into the challenge results?
Yeah.
All right.
Man, we don't always have to hit a fucking hour and a half. You know what I mean?
I like it when we do, though.
Well, all right. Call Ricky again. Maybe I should call him from my phone.
I know, right? He should.
You want to try?
Yeah, do it.
Time to call Ricky.
Time to call.
Oh, whoa. I don't even know if I have his fucking number.
Hey, wait. You know what we should do?
Hold up. What?
I should. Where did he say he works? I should call his work and be like, can I have parts, please? Because he always works in parts.
You should. Is this his number?
¿Qué pasó hoy? Let me see. I don't think so. I think it actually changed. Hold on. Sorry. Folks, we are here. Just dial the number. The number is area code 915, and I'm not going to say the rest.
God damn it. What are you doing?
My wife sent me a text. It's a good thing that you didn't see that text. Oh my God.
How do you know I didn't?
Because you would have called attention to it. Come on, Rick.
I don't even think he has my number saved.
It's a fucking bill collector way. That's what he's going to think.
He's not going to.
Later on, how come you didn't answer it? Was I'm busy way?
Because I'm working way.
All right. That's
second failed attempt for this motherfucker.
But you know what? That's okay, because when we do get him on the line, it's going to be that much worth the wait.
Good point.
All right, let's get into our challenge results. So on last episode, actually, hold on. I know it's not Halloween anymore.
Yeah.
But since we owe our listeners a story about something spooky and scary because of our past, this doesn't connect to me. However, hour passed, Adrian. Do you not realize?
Yeah, I'm attached to fucking everything. I just
realized one of the big things that I wanted to talk about today. I didn't even have it on my fucking notes. Holy shit. If you're still hanging on, you're listening, this is good. Dude, let me tell you something.
Tell me.
We live in El Paso, and so we are right on the border. So we have very, very Mexican roots in this area. So Dia De Los Muertos just passed.
Yeah.
Dude, my wife, she took me to so you see this bracelet here? I've told you the story about the bracelet, right?
Yeah. And you also said you were going to get me one.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Sorry. She had to make it there. So we went to this event just to get the bracelet. $25 just to get in. Plus I had to pay for the bracelet. Anyways, I'm sitting there on a bench. Keep in mind, people, if you're not from El Paso, if you are from El Paso, you understand. This event is at the historic Concordia Cemetery.
Yeah.
If you don't understand what we mean by historic, I'm talking I was looking at headstones of people that were born the early 1800s. Yeah. These are Civil War soldiers.
Yeah.
These are, they goes back, and it's considered to be one of the most haunted cemeteries. Here's an interesting fact for everybody. Richard Ramirez, the serial killer, the famed serial killer who's from El Paso,
Night Stalker,
used to go to that cemetery to conduct satanic rituals.
My Aunt Marty knew that dude.
Well, my friend Mike that passed away,
yeah,
that's his cousin.
Really?
They were cousins, yeah.
Fucking one up, bro. Here.
I know. And then not only that, remember Joe, who also passed away?
Yeah.
He went to school with them, so he would tell us stories of them bullying him and stuff. It was crazy. Anyways, because he was such a weird kid.
Yeah.
But so we're in this cemetery, right? So the girl who's making my bracelets, can you just give me 10 minutes and I got to put it together, because I tried it on and it was too small. So she was like, give me 10 minutes because I got to add to it, whatever. So I go and I have a seat and I'm sitting there amongst all the graves, and there's a guy there and he's kind of looking at me. I'm kind of looking at him. Don't understand what he is or anything. Just not thinking much about it. And my wife says, hey, you should go see that guy. He's a Sobador. And I was like, what?
Who?
What?
I'm not hungry right now. Thank you.
Sobe energy drinks. I've never had those. And she was like, it's those. It's kind of like which not really. I found out there's a difference. She was like, it's so there's a story when she was young, she had problems with her tonsils.
Yeah.
And so her family, who has, I guess, or a certain family member, I'm trying to watch what I say because I don't want to say the wrong thing and I don't want to offend anybody, but I know there's a certain family member who's very spiritual and into what some people would consider witchcraft. I don't consider it witchcraft. I see it as being just an alternative medicines, alternative, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
They took her to, but I don't even think actually it was that relative. I think it was another one. I don't know. I'm butchering this whole fucking story. Anyway, she's taken to one of these dudes. They did something where they yanked her head back and they told her essentially we just broke your tonsils. You'll never have tonsil problems again. Long story short, she never had tonsil problems ever again. So whether you believe in this stuff or not, anyways, she was like, it's one of those guys that they work on you and they do stuff. And I was like, let's try it. So I walk up to the guy and I'm like,
can you make me nice?
I think he's going to only speak Spanish, right? And then my wife's speaking to him in Spanish. And he was like, I actually speak a bunch of languages. I speak English too. And if you want to talk to me, talk to me. I was like, oh, cool. So he was like, I want to work on you. And I was like, hold on there. How much?
Right. There's a long list, buddy. How much time you got?
I was like, how much? And he was like, nothing. I'm not going to charge you. He's like, I just feel the need to I need to work on you. And I was like, all right. So
he's like, if you're going to tell me he touched your feet, we're going to have a fucking problem.
Actually, he did. And I'm not fucking lying. Dude, anyways. But let me get to that.
Okay.
So I sit down. Right away, he looks at my daughter and he goes, do you realize you are very powerful and you don't even know it? And I'm like, okay. And my daughter's like, uh-huh. And he's like, come here, I'm going to show you something. He starts showing her these hand things and all this stuff. And he was like, you're too young to understand this. He was like, there's not a lot of people running around that have the abilities that I have, but you have it, and you have it in a very powerful way, and you need to know that. Isn't that crazy? Okay.
Yeah.
So then he sits there, and then he's like, hold on. He was like, he looks that way, and I look, and he was like, did you see that guy turn around and look at me? And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know. And he's like, I can hear people have entities or things attached to them, and I can hear them, and sometimes they're calling out saying, I help this person. He's like, but I can't help everybody. But right now, that person, he was like, and as I looked over, he turned around and looked at me. He needs help, but I'm with you. So let's focus on you now. So he tells me, he says, this is not witchcraft. He says, I'm actually he goes, I feel that this power was given to me by God. He's like a believer in Jesus and all that stuff. He goes, I hate everything I say. He goes, I hate religion. Religion is man-made and it's bullshit. He goes, these powers were given to me by God himself directly. God was a healer. Jesus was a healer. I feel that I was put on this planet to be a healer. He was like, I was a drug addict for 40 years. I overcame it. Now I help drug addicts and alcoholics to overcome it. He was like, so what I'm going to do, he's like, I'm going to touch you a little bit. So I started unzipping my bands, and then he was like, no, it's
not that kind of massage guy.
Like, damn it. But, so then I was like, okay. He was like, so, okay. Again, side note, dude, did I ever tell you about the pain on my leg, on my lower calf?
Yes.
Remember I told you I thought I had a blood clot? I was worried that I had a blood clot because my dad caught that and had his leg amputated. And for months I've been having this like just sharp fucking pain, like somebody's putting a fucking needle into my calf. I sit down, dude. He goes like this. What's with this pain? Finger right on the spot, dude. Right on the...
Wait, what spot are we talking about?
On my calf.
Oh, it's because you said finger. I said, wait, whoa. I thought it wasn't that kind of massage.
Right on my calf, dude. Right on the spot where I've been having that pain. I've been having that pain for like over a year. I've told you, I think I told Daniela, like, you know what I mean? Like, he was just like, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And I was like, okay. So he's like, he starts doing some stuff to my hands, and he's just talking, man. And he's just like, a lot of people think I'm crazy. A lot of people think I'm a quack. A lot of people think all this, and let them think it. Let them think it. He's like, because the only people that'll benefit from this are the people that actually, like, at least are open-minded enough to allow me to try. He goes, because I can tell you right now, I could do all the therapy that people spend tens of thousands of dollars on to like become emotionally sound from psychiatrists, all the money that people spend on surgeries and all this other stuff. He goes, I'm lucky I'm actually alive. He goes, because people like me end up getting murdered because we're able to do what they do in a much shorter amount of time and for free. Yeah. I don't have to fucking charge $100 an hour to tell you that I can fix you in 15 minutes. So he starts working on me, dude. And he's like, hey, just so you know, you need to relax, dude. Like, you have a lot on your plate, and I understand that you need to provide and be a provider. And he looks at my wife and my daughter. He goes, but they're more important. He goes, you need to take a step back, and you need to focus on them and less on all the stuff that you got going on. Yeah. And then, sorry, Rain, but this isn't going to stop me.
Is that where you were like, okay, this guy's full of shit. I'm not going to do this anymore.
And then he starts like feeling like my heart area. And he goes, you drink a lot of caffeine, don't you? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, because I do. And for anybody that knows me, I drink a lot.
Yeah. You drink more than I just have the one pre-workout, and that's it for the day.
Yeah.
You kind of top it off a little.
Yeah, I do. He was like, you're on your way to a heart attack, bro. I just want to let you know. He's like, just fair warning.
But I will agree with him. But your stress.
Well, that's what he was saying. He goes, with the caffeine mixed with the stress, he was like, you're on your way to a heart attack. Then, oh, my pancreas. You know that I've actually had diagnosed issues with my pancreas, which I haven't really talked about on here. he was like, "What's up with your pancreas? There's shit going on there. Let me work on that."
Yeah, if you guys want to hear all these fun ailments, go check out the Dad Podcasters show.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's where they talk about it.
Like I've actually have like on paper from MRIs that I have issues there. Anyways, I'm still trying to sort it out.
Which you made me a promise like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
You still haven't fucking done it.
I know. But anyways, yeah, man, he worked on me. He did all this, what some can perceive as mumbo jumbo. But I got to tell you, dude, and whether it's from the power of persuasion or what, but it's been a week, almost a week. That pain is gone, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Gone. Completely fucking gone. And I don't know what the fuck. He also did something to me where he was like, I want you to think of something emotionally traumatic. And I'm going to do something. Dude, honestly, like that even has been fucking like complete 180. Like, oh my God, dude. Anyways, the guy, he's like, you can come and anytime you want to visit. Yeah. And I can do whatever, he
Where's
charges.
This guy at?
He's like downtown. But he charges, if he even has classes, he teaches Tai Chi. He also has a girl that works with him. She's younger. Like she does the whole aura thing. And then like they figure out what's wrong with you. And then like they even do like meditation where she does like the bowl sound.
Dude, the Tibetan sound bowls are beautiful.
They do all that. And they charge obviously fees. Like he told me like, don't pay me, but I still give him money. But he was like, dude, don't worry about it. Like he was like, and if you want to come to those classes, dude, and like for whatever reason, like you can't afford it or you just don't want to pay, like don't worry, I'm not going to fucking charge you. You know what I mean? Like I was waiting for the catch. You know what I mean? Like, all right, there's going to be $100 or whatever. You know what I mean? I was waiting for the scam to come through.
And if you buy this little gold pin.
Yeah, exactly. He even gave me some stuff for free, some spray. He was like, and I read up on it, which is really interesting. And that's for another fucking day. But he was like, this stuff is pretty much like, you can't find it anywhere, but I can make it myself. You can actually, anybody can make it themselves. And he was just like, this stuff is like worth so much. So I Googled it and I'll tell you about it later, but I Googled it and dude, apparently, there's like a lot of people that swear by this stuff, but it almost seems like it's one of those things that it might actually work and do something, but like it's so cheap and easy to be made. It almost feels like, just based on my reading, that like it's being suppressed on purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of powerful companies out there and organizations that will suppress it. But man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I am a believer in that stuff. You know what I mean? But now that I went through and I experienced it, especially with how spot on he was with fucking everything to beginning to end, I don't know what to think, dude.
It's interesting.
Yeah. And then
very interesting.
So yeah, I mean, there was other stuff in between. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Even with my wife, he got her ailment spot on. My daughter, same thing. Like he didn't even have to like, no prying, no questions, just like, hey, you have an issue with this, don't you? Yeah. And it's not like common things either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll give you an example. I'm going to spill the beans, Daniela. My wife, I've always laughed because since I've met her, she always does this thing where she does this like, she has to take these big breaths. She like sighs really loud. Yeah. And sometimes it comes across like she's annoyed. I'm always like, what the fuck? And she's always told me this, and I think it's cute, and I laugh every time she goes, it's because I have little lungs. And she's always told me this thing that she has little lungs, and she feels like she has to make more effort than the average person because she was born with smaller than usual lungs. She went to the doctor. They told her, no, you're fine, whatever. But this guy, he just looks at her, and he goes, you struggle to breathe? She never complains about anything, any ailments, nothing. She's not like that. But that's the one thing she does complain about all the time. And he was like, you feel like you struggle to breathe? She was like, yeah. He was like, all right, have a seat.
And she feels better?
He started feeling her boobs and
started filling her up, top to bottom.
No, I don't know. I haven't asked her, to be honest with you. A friend of ours, a good friend of mine, I don't want to call him out or say anything. He went to him on a couple days ago. And I asked him yesterday, I was like, how are you feeling? He goes, honestly, dude, he's like been so busy. He's like, I haven't even stopped to try to notice if I'm feeling better because he had him work on all kinds of stuff. So I'm waiting to see, he's doing like a little tour or something. So I'm waiting to see when he comes back, what he's going to say, which I think I just kind of gave it away without realizing it.
Yeah. I know,
but it's because like he's going to put his body through the ringer. So that's really going to be an indicator of like if it helped. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know. But I don't know. So anyways, based on all this, again, I don't see this as... I see it kind of very connected to religion, but at the same time, I don't know. I know there's a lot of people that frown upon this stuff and they see it, and I think that that's complete bullshit because I fucking firmly believe that there are natural healers out there in the world.
I will agree with you. Now, I'm not going to try to discredit this guy because I'm actually curious, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, for him to pinpoint things that are wrong with you without having him said a word, right?
Especially that first one, dude.
Yeah, you're a calf.
Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie, dude. This is how serious this is. I got verklempt at that moment.
Yeah.
Like, it was weird, dude. It was like, how?
See, I'm curious. Like, I would like to go. But you know what he's going to do? He's going to look at me and go, nope, I got nothing for your case of the pussies, my man. There's nothing curing you, guy. But...
like on Friday?
Nope. Said, nope. That's a strong case of the pussies right here, buddy. You need to go. I'm also a huge believer, though. In the past like year and a half, I've been doing a lot of research on... I say research like I'm in college. A lot of reading and studying on just the power of the mind, right? Your mind can do a lot of things
right,
without you realizing it, right? Like the mind can heal. You can heal yourself in a lot of different ways just with your mind.
Like a placebo effect.
Right. So this guy being like, boom, and you walk into it. I'll give you an example. I do it all the time. I did it to Jason. I've done it to my kid before. So... when you're weightlifting and you think you're at a stuck point, right? Okay, like one time Jason was bench pressing. He's like, I can't do it. I said, come on, give me 2 more. And I said, I'll help you. I'm going to help you. I did it to you once too.
You used to do it to me. Yeah,
I put my hand under the bar like this.
Yeah.
But from this point of view,
don't actually touch
it looks like I'm touching it.
Yeah.
He repped out like 4 or 5. You did the same. My kid did the same.
Yeah.
Because your mind told you, oh, I have help. So it's fucking easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do believe that also, and that's why I'm torn. That's why I'm very torn.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Let's see. Maybe in a couple of weeks, if that pain comes back.
Yeah.
You know,
maybe he just like moved that nerve out of the way a bit.
I do believe in the whole like chakras thing.
I do too.
You know, so he claims too, like he's had alcoholics where like literally overnight they don't even want alcohol anymore. And again, like even like when you think of things like hypnotizing people, right? Hypnosis, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. A lot of it is power of suggestion, but I also do still feel that there is like energy that we can't see, but we can feel, and maybe some people have learned how to manipulate it and use it. I don't know. I think about things like, for example, you know that story of that guy that had the different things of water. And he would like yell at one bottle of water. He would talk very nicely to another, and then he wouldn't say anything to another. And then when you looked at the actual molecules and like they reflected kind of. So, I mean, I feel like we're made up mostly of water. And I think that sometimes like through energy or whatever that, I don't know. Dude, I don't even know what I'm saying.
The world is
a vampire.
See, nobody even, it's like, since I don't walk around.
You didn't even get that reference?
No, what'd you say?
You said the world is, and I said a vampire.
Dun, 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 dun. One of the world's greatest songs. The universe, the world is all energies. See, I don't walk around talking about this, but I read up on this a lot. Vibrations, hertz, stuff like that. Nikola Tesla, your boy. Just because you drive his car, I'm going to say he's your boy. Dude, if you read up on his research on vibration alone and its healing power and what it does and what certain frequencies can actually do to the body, to the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Like I really believe in the whole, like you should stand on like bare ground, barefoot. Have you heard about that?
No.
So they say that the planet has magnetic fields in certain frequencies. And I've actually seen it where what people will do is they'll get one of those like monitors that can monitor like the magnetic pulse or whatever. I don't even know. It's probably not even right. But what they found is that since our body is emanating certain frequencies and so is the earth, that when you stand barefoot on the ground, the pulse, it changes. It's almost like you become... So like, let's say that you have a certain number that's reading on this, whatever the fuck, right? And then the moment your bare feet touch the ground, the reading amplifies. And what it does is it makes you more grounded, makes you feel better. Like all of a sudden now your vibration has changed as a result of you coming in direct contact with the earth's frequencies and vibration.
Yeah, I believe that.
One thing, one of the podcasts that I produce, Grind Too Hard, they talk a lot about vibrations and how certain vibrations sync up, and that's why certain people are more...
Yeah, it's the law of vibration. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's super interesting. And
I'm surprised you haven't looked into that. Dude, like the past year and a half, that's all I've been researching and studying.
Really?
Oh, yeah, dude.
So you believe in all this stuff?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Dude, binaural beats, for me...
Is that a new band?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hip-hop group, binaural beats.
That's actually a good name.
They work wonders for me, dude. Like if I'm working out, like you have things like the green noise, you have 369 hertz, you have 432 hertz, like all these certain vibrations do certain things to your brain and your body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like brown noise, it really does.
Yeah.
It calms my thinking.
Yeah.
Like I'm ADHD, so I'm like this thinking all the time. Once I put that brown noise on, it's like,
yeah,
I feel like I'm
if we don't
pillow.
If we don't hurry, you're about to get a brown noise out of me, I'll tell you what.
But anyways, I feel that I really wanted to bring that up on this show.
Yeah,
and I know it's kind of weird because it does kind of connect to like Dia De Los Muertos in this area and all that stuff.
You were in a cemetery.
Yeah.
No, I think it's cool. I think it's interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just real big on the mind thing. You know what I mean?
I might go back. I'm thinking I'm probably going to go back, see what else can happen.
Yeah. I dig it. Let me know. Then I'll let you be the guinea pig this time. Just like I take all the supplements. You can handle this.
He did touch my feet though. He had me pull up both my feet, and you know what he told me? He goes, "You have one leg that's like longer than the other." He started doing like this wiggling stuff, and he goes, "That's why you walk like a gangster."
That and you sag your pants. In 2023.
All right. Should we get into, if anybody has any comments, questions, anything, send it to us. Tell us, what do you think? Do you think this is all bullshit or do you believe in this stuff? I'm kind of curious.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even though I very much believe in a lot of this stuff, I still feel like I just don't want to be a sucker and buy into something. And let me give you an example. One time I was in Las Vegas and they have these bracelets that they tell you they're ionized bracelets. Mm-hmm. And then the guy was like, look, he, throws me off my balance or whatever. And then all of a sudden they put the bracelet on me. He's like, look at how strong you are. You're not off balance. Come to find out after some research, it's a scam. You know what I mean? It's all about how they're pulling you down, when they're pulling you or pushing you down, whatever. Anyways, it's all bullshit. And so ever since I got suckered in, this was like in my early 20s, like 2 years ago. Ever since I got suckered into that, I'm very skeptical, even though I do believe.
Yeah,
I still am skeptical at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but all I can say is that I have no pain in my calf anymore, and the fact that he was so spot on that stuff, I don't know, man. It kind of woke me up a little.
There's a thing. I've read this book like 5 times already in the past 6 months because I'm trying to wrap my mind around it. Right, the Hermetic philosophy. You ever heard of it?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, don't give a mouse a cookie.
The fuck?
Did you ever read that book?
No.
That's the only book that I've ever read 5 times. That's what I was going to say.
What?
The Heretic Mind? Is that what you said?
Hermetic.
Oh, Hermetic.
Yes, Hermetic principles.
Oh, okay.
It's got a lot to do with the law of vibration, right? As above, so below. What you have up here is what you feel down here, vice versa. Mm-hmm. It's an interesting read, which is why when people talk about stuff like that you're talking about, it makes me curious, but also at the same time, it's like, is it trickery of the mind? Is it the barbell effect?
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good talk.
Yeah.
Let's get into our challenge results. So I challenged you with Iron Maiden, and you challenged me with a band that I'm not new to, but never dug deep on, which is the band Refused.
Yeah.
I want you to go first.
So, you told me to only do the 80s.
Yes.
Okay. I spritzed and dabbled into the 90s.
Oh, okay.
But whatever, right? So, right off the bat, it's I'm just going to name the songs I like first, and then I'll just tell you, right? So, Wrathchild, great bass line. Remember Tomorrow was a good song, nice and slow. Hallowed Be Thy Name was a good song. Started off kind of cheesy, but then it came in strong. There's a song called Revelations, which did like dun 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 dun, you know, that shit that we kind of liked that I didn't really have heard from that era of music that you've been challenging me with. So those are the songs that right off the bat I do like. There's another bass line from the starting bass line of a song called Clairvoyant on Seventh Son of the Seventh Son or something like that. That's a great fucking bass line. Overall, I mean, it's good, right? What I'm trying to pinpoint with all these bands within this genre that you are challenging me with, or who started this? Who started it?
Black Sabbath.
You think?
Yes. I think it was Led Zeppelin, and then it trickled into like...
It's because remember I told you, I like the first three Zeppelin albums I loved because they were very bluesy. And then that one, I think it was the first or the second Black Sabbath album, same thing.
Here's a way that you can wrap your head around it. And this is the way I see it, and I could be totally wrong, okay?
Okay.
Since you were a new metal guy.
Okay. You don't laugh. It's not fucking funny. I'm not
You
ashamed.
take the original formation of Korn, you take Deftones, and you take Green Day. And you can connect those two. Like, let's say Korn is Black Sabbath, Deftones is Led Zeppelin, and Green Day is like the Ramones or Sex Pistols, one of those. Mm-hmm. They kind of, bands I feel like kind of took from that and morphed. But I also feel like there are like not as major players like, you know, Scorpions and other bands that I've challenged you with.
See, and that's what I'm asking, because Scorpions, you heard the evolution.
Right.
Zeppelin, you hear the evolution. Black Sabbath, you hear the evolution. This band, straight from the jump, album 1 to whatever that was in 1988 or 89 was their last album. It all sounds the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Also, another band we don't talk about really quick, like Deep Purple. Sorry.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So, I mean, for them being so big, out of all the bands that you've shown me, for me, they did nothing groundbreaking to where I was like, oh, no fucking wonder. Okay, so who started that? Because he does it a lot. But I feel like he's done it more than anybody else.
My first thought was, I wonder who was first, him or Ronnie James Dio, because Dio played a big role in that.
Yeah, because Dio was a part of Black Sabbath at one point. Yeah, right.
Yeah. And so it makes me, I don't know, but that is a good question.
Because he does it a lot. So what I'm trying to get at is to me, them being so big, it sounds like they're ripping off a lot of people. They don't sound like the originators because they came in fucking.
The thing about them, you don't hear, and it's really funny that you say that, 'cause something I've never thought about, and maybe I'm totally fucking wrong here, but in my life, being involved in metal, I don't think I've ever read or heard of a band saying like they were influenced by Iron Maiden.
Neither have I. Yeah, it's always, you always hear Sabbath, Zeppelin, Van Halen. You know what I mean?
I think a bigger draw to Iron Maiden, don't get me wrong, musically they're good, right? I like them. They have some really good riffs, you know, like the bass line is very driving, stuff like that. But I think a big part of it was the devil, the demonic, that perception.
And that's another thing. They're not as heavy as I thought they would be for being that band, the devil band.
Right.
Black Sabbath is way fucking heavier with only hitting fucking 4 notes and not doing all that shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that stood out to me. Another thing that stood out to me is what they did that threw me off. Well, and actually, no, most bands that you've challenged me with within the 70s and the 80s kind of did this. And I think we need to go back to that. So they literally put out an album almost every fucking year from 1980 to 1988. I think like 86 and 87 there was a break where they put out a live album.
Right.
But fuck, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, we're waiting 3-4 fucking years for somebody to put out a fucking new album these days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you get a Marvel movie quicker than you get a fucking new album from a band.
Bruce Dickinson is a beast, the singer.
Yeah.
I heard that he's a workaholic. I mean, those guys are always putting stuff out, and they're always touring. They're always doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
I think that's awesome. People need to go back to that.
Yeah, for sure.
3-4 years for a new album? Get the fuck out of here, dude. Like,
you know, it's weird, and I'm gonna, not to take anything away from them musically, because I think musically they're great. But you know what? I feel like they owe a lot of fucking credit to whoever created the imagery of Eddie Maiden.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Even as a kid, like, I wouldn't listen to them all the time, but I had all their posters and tapestries and all that stuff. I was obsessed with just the image of Eddie Maiden because I just thought it was so fucking cool.
Yeah, and that shit scared me as a kid. Dude, there was down the street on my dad's block, I forgot the kid's name. I want to say his name was David. He was a good friend of ours. His family was Korean, so his mom, adorable. Grandma, adorable. One night, it was like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night on a Friday. He lived all the way down at the far end of the block.
Yeah.
Like I said, we were like 7 or 8. Like I said, my dad didn't give a fuck where or what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
We were at his house, and his sister had a bunch of rockers dudes over. I'm talking jean jackets, white tennis shoes, like the whole thing. And then she asked me and Gussie, and she was like, what kind of music do you listen to? And I was like, I don't even know what I fucking said at the time. She starts talking
Vanilla Ice.
He didn't come out till 90. So she starts bringing up how she loves metal. She starts talking about the devil and how she worships the devil and Iron Maiden and Metallica. And I, dude, fucking lost it. Me and Gussie ran outside and we looked down that long street in the fucking dead of night.
Yeah.
Scared as fuck, dude.
That's hilarious. I would have been like, tell me more.
No, but that's what I'm trying to get at is, yes, the imagery of Iron Maiden is very scary. Well, when I was a kid, it was,
right.
But listening to them now, I'm like, fuck. I don't hear it. Like, I don't see the big, like, I mean, the lyrics were very cheesy. Let me tell you that.
Yeah,
on some
sure.
of them, I was like, what the fuck did you just say?
Yeah, for sure.
So the mystique of Iron Maiden is no more for me. Like, to me, they're at the bottom.
Right.
Sabbath all fucking day.
Right.
For me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I liked it. Wasn't fucking wild. Like I said, they sound like a carbon copy, cheap ripoff of everything else that you've been showing me. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say that, but
well, you don't have to say it. I just said it for you. Well, yeah. I mean, that song and that Trooper song. You know the.
Doesn't it make you want to just go into war with the flag?
No, thank you. So final
with
take.
Fucking Eddie Maiden in the front. Fuck yeah, dude.
Final take. Like it. Could do without it.
Didn't hate it.
No hating it.
Awesome. Well, okay. So I like that. I like that you dove into that. And I really like that we discussed things around the imagery and just around like who Iron Maiden is and not necessarily just on the music, because they're one of those bands that their visuals do play a huge role into not only their success, but who they are.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like Marilyn Manson. If Marilyn Manson would have just been just a regular dude, he may not have had that same success had he not created that persona, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, getting into the band Refused. Dude, I had never gone back. I thought for sure that I had gone back and listened to the earlier stuff, and quickly listening to it, I was like, I have never heard any of this, dude. Refused is a band that I like, but of course, I've always liked that one album that has was it New Noise?
Yes. The album's called The Shape of Punk to Come.
Yeah. So, I unfortunately was that guy that just listened to that one album and specifically that one song because it's such a good fucking song.
Fuck yeah, it is.
But going back, man, I didn't realize how, and it's not like hardcore to like the level of somebody like Strife, but they had very punk and hardcore roots that
absolutely.
I did not know they had.
Yeah.
I think because by the time that one song came out, it really wasn't that heavy anymore, right?
Yeah.
But when I listened back to what they did in the 90s, starting with that first album, which was 94, I believe, man, it was very, very connected to And what I put here on my notes, even especially his voice, again, this doesn't connect to what we talked about in the beginning. I mean, it does connect, but it's not intentional. Very Mike Muir sounding vocals from Suicidal Tendencies.
I can hear it, yeah.
Just more on the serious side, because, Suicidal Tendencies, they had, his lyrically was funny.
Yeah.
Like, this was more on the serious side.
Yeah.
I could see, I'm looking at it, and I put on here, I probably wouldn't have appreciated this. I would have seen it as too simple, because it was that time period where I was really big into bands like Pantera and Fear Factory. You had Nirvana coming out and the grunge bands that, weren't technically metal, you know what I mean? And these guys kind of fit like right in the middle.
Yeah.
And I think that had I listened to them at that time, I would, again, and I've said this on other challenges before, I would not have appreciated them like I do now.
Yeah.
I was able to kind of draw these connections, and I was able to see really the evolution of almost like going from a garage punkish, hardcore-ish band to like this band who really just came into their sound, especially with that one album, which I feel like the albums after try to replicate that, but just never quite got there. They released 2 albums in 1 year. So speaking of what you said about, the old school ways, like, did you know they released 2 albums in 1 year?
No.
That's pretty badass.
Were they the same year?
Yeah, I think it was the first 2 albums. I didn't write it down specifically here. They used a lot of, and I wonder how much this connects to like the Deftones. So the Deftones was one of the first bands that I felt that when I first heard like Adrenaline, they started doing like harmonics, like guitar riff harmonics, and then you've had a lot of other bands. Something that I even like doing as a guitar player, would never do it now, but back in the day, I noticed that they do that a lot, and I thought that was really interesting because it was something that I always associated with the Deftones. Yeah. And I think, again, going back, I wonder what I would have thought hearing them do it. Obviously, they were coming up at the same time as the Deftones, so, Deftones couldn't necessarily say, like, they were influenced by them or they were influenced by the Deftones, whatever. So it's really weird because they actually came out around the same time as the Deftones. I said, that I really loved their riffs. They had good riffs. I felt like their distortion would have also been something that would have kind of made me like, because it wasn't that heavy distortion.
Yeah.
But I feel like them doing The Shape of Punk to Come, which was in 1998, definitely is where they kind of came into their own sound.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, so after their success was really never...
They broke up after that album.
There.
Yeah. That album was a very underground album. When that album came out, I think they were playing like these fucking really small shows, and literally in the middle of one of their shows, they're like, "This is it." The resurgence of that band came years after.
That's what I was going to ask you. Wasn't it recently though?
I mean,
because I know they played speaking of the Dia De Los Muertos, the Dia De Los Deftones festival.
Yeah. So the past like 10 years, maybe the revival had started, but it was just the buzz of that album. Somebody had found, put it back into circulation.
Isn't it amazing how much that's happening nowadays?
Oh, yeah.
I almost feel like because there's just such a lack of good new music coming out, people are having to go back and discover these not so big artists.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, I wish Far would be a part of that revival.
Right. Yeah. Far doesn't get all the credit that they... I wonder how they look at the Deftones, because, they came up together and they were like sister bands or whatever, and they probably look at the Deftones like, fucking... I mean, they did do an album, which I really liked, by the way. The last album they did, it was like maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, the one that you still have.
Yeah. You lent it to me?
Yes, and I never fucking got it back.
I have it somewhere. I didn't know that. I love that album.
Yeah.
Also, I was going through some shit during that time. It was about 12 years ago. And for some reason, that's when that album, when you lent it to me. So I always had it on. And so now when I hear those songs, sometimes I get that feeling.
I want to say it was 13 years ago.
Yeah, it was around. Yeah, it was a while. But that was a good album. But anyways, yeah, I mean, they came out and it was like this big thing for like the Far lovers, underground Far lovers. Like they're coming out with an album and like nothing really came of it.
Nothing, dude. Yeah.
I mean, Jonah, the singer... he has a very underground cult fucking following worldwide.
Yeah.
You know, but their success sadly was never to that of like the Deftones.
Yeah.
But
Unfortunately.
People need to rediscover them. Anyways, going back to Refused, you know, the stuff after that album, it was good. It was good. Don't get me wrong. I like it. I can sit there. I can listen to it. I will go back. I will listen to it. But it just never captured and I'm going to specifically call out that song. It never captured the impact of that one fucking song, dude.
Yeah.
That song is just so, from even the music video with the lights flashing and like,
they're wearing those masks, those monster masks.
Yeah. Oh, and it sucks because I feel like that band, they go and they perform, and sadly, dude, you know that the crowd is just fucking waiting for that one song, and they're gonna play that song last, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I mean, success is success, I guess, right? But man, I mean, they are good from beginning to end. They get better towards the middle there when they did that song, but you can't take away from that song in particular how amazing that fucking song was.
I mean, that album, I mean, I love
the
all
whole
of
album
them,
was
but that whole album was ridiculous.
But it was one of those songs that, you know, you can't say it's a one-hit wonder. It's beyond that. It's a song that every time I hear it, it has the same impact.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That we've always said we should cover that song somehow, some way.
Yeah.
We never do it,
but no, man. I mean, I love them.
I knew you would. I know you like the band. I just knew you didn't dive a whole lot. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I wasn't expecting you to hate it.
It was a good challenge.
That's good.
I entered some things that I didn't expect to enter, especially in their early days. Yeah. But yeah, they're awesome.
Great. What's the next one?
Did you already have one?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. You're going to have to go first because I'm kind of not sure on this one.
Okay, so I'm going to give you another band that you like, but I know you have not deep dived. Do not roll your eyes at me.
All right, Adrian.
I'm going to challenge you at Depeche Mode.
I don't think you should.
Why?
Dude, are you kidding me? I was obsessed.
You went all the way back.
Dude, yes.
Oh, fuck.
Depeche Mode was a band that, man, like, honestly, for a little while there, definitely in my top 5.
Really?
Yeah.
I knew you liked them, but I didn't know you were like...
No, dude. Like, completely, utterly...
Okay, I got my backups.
Obsessed. All right.
So...
I need to go find my backups.
So, another one I had in mind for you that I've been kind of toying with, but I wanted to give you not necessarily a break because I haven't tasked you with too many hip hop artists, but one of my all-time favorite rappers, to me, very impactful, very inspirational. He doesn't have quite the fame I feel he deserves, right? But anyway, I'm going to challenge you with Del, the Funky Homo Sapien.
You used to talk about him. It's just him, right?
Well, yeah. He has his projects, but then he did another project called Deltron 3030 with this electronic musician DJ. Fucking drew a blank. Deltron, Dan the Automator.
Oh, that's right. See, and it's funny because as I'm hearing you talk about these people, like I've heard you mention all these names and you've always talked about them, and I don't know.
Yeah, he also did this thing with a group called Hieroglyphics. Mm-hmm. Most notably, he's Ice Cube's cousin.
Hieroglyphics, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, okay, so say it again.
Del, the Funky Homo Sapien.
That's right. Okay, I'll check him out. All right, I'm going to throw you for a weird loop right here.
Oh, God. What?
So, going back to the whole bands back in the past and kind of their influence in all these bands, there was this band, dude, that, and again, going back to the imagery as well. I remember when I was a kid, I was little kid, and I was first discovering Metallica, Iron Maiden, Megadeth, all of these bands. I think it was Eric. He got the cassette tape because of the imagery of this one particular band. I remember one of the things I was always kind of looking for was that distortion. Like, you know what I mean? The heavier, the better.
Guns N' Roses.
No. Have you ever heard Guns N' Roses?
I love Guns N' Roses.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm not gonna challenge you. You will never even know who this is. And it was a band that I remember for a short amount of time, I just became like overly obsessed with, and I've really never talked about them ever. And when I tell you the name, you're gonna be like, who? And I went back the other day and I was actually listening to them, and I remember giving me that same feeling that I got when I first heard them, and I was literally obsessed with them. But I remember it being kind of a turning point for me in terms of like what a guitar, what distortion could be. I was young, dude. I mean, young, like 5 years old, 6 years old.
So this was like 12 years ago?
This is a band. It's called Laz Rocket.
Guy, you really want to do that?
Shut up.
No, I'm just kidding.
LAAZROCKIT.
Rocket. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. More of this fucking music.
Dude, it's very... How can I say it? Are you familiar with DRI? Dirty
Rotten Imbeciles?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I really liked DRI back in the day as well. So look, do you see the imagery? You see how it reminds me of Iron Maiden?
Yeah, but why is it saying there's only an album from 2008 and 2009 in here?
That's not true. Hold on.
Maybe Spotify is doing that weird thing again.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck? Dude, no. Their albums go back to
yeah. It says here Laz Rocket began in 1982.
Yeah, there you go.
That's just one of those things. Okay.
So these guys were like, I don't know. It was a band that they didn't grab me as much as like Metallica. They didn't grab me as much as like Megadeth, but they were a band that I consistently listened to when I was younger during that time.
You do not front on a band. That's album name, City's Gonna Burn. Not going to. Gonna burn.
Hell yeah.
Shit.
So I'm really just curious to where, now that we're talking about bands and influences and all these others, you can look at these guys as like, in the 90s, there was all these bands, right? But then there's always those like one-offs that doesn't get all the attention that they deserve, but they're so good.
Annihilation Principle.
Yeah. I was obsessed with these guys, and I was listening to them the other day again. I hadn't heard them since I was a kid. I was like, damn, I like it. I still like it, dude.
Yeah, but I like it a lot.
So I'm curious to what you're going to think.
I already know what I'm going to think, but okay.
I actually didn't realize that they have newer stuff. I want to go listen to their newer stuff. I'm sure these guys are probably like 80 years old. And
this is going to be a good one. Del the Funky Homo Sapien versus Laz
Rocket. All right. We're coming up on an hour and a half.
Dude, there's this part on one of the Del albums where I guess he's doing like a little skit with Ice Cube. Mm-hmm. And in Ice Cube's voice, he goes, "Man, what the fuck is a Homo sapien?" And Del goes, "Man, it's a human being."
Hey, real quick, one thing. You ever seen the movie Metal Lords?
No, dude, I've been trying to get through that fucking movie.
It is so good.
Yeah,
I even called Eric last night because I saw it for the second time last night. Yeah. I was watching it with my daughter, and I called Eric and I was like, "Hey, have you ever seen it?" He was like, "No," and then he watched it like immediately. He was like, "Dude, that's such a good movie." I was like, "Right?"
The little kids, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
So good.
Yeah,
dude.
I've been trying so hard, but
so
yeah.
good.
Awesome.
I would have loved that movie to be around when I was a kid. But anyways, all right. I think we're gonna call it.
We are. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget to check out all of our buddies, our sister podcasts, Exiled Inc., Moat 9, AAA Cigar, Whip Shaded and Faded, Grind Too Hard, and the Dad Bodcaster Show.
Yeah.
Check them all out.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.